I did not get mic'd up, so I'm going to use this. I know you guys, this has been a lot of information, so I'm going to try to be as brief as possible here. First off, I'll also thank you for coming. Hopefully it was useful to you. Today we introduced a lot of new concepts. Fundamentally, we introduced model-based cognition itself, and hopefully you'll be hearing a lot more about it. We introduced this idea of a case wheel that kind of sets where our primary use cases, where model-based cognition can be deployed. I think all of the examples you saw today, I just want to kind of go through, I don't have presenter view now. I have to skip my notes here, but each and every presentation you saw today added flavor or context to the model-based cognition. First off, Steve and Tara talked about AI in general and how model-based cognition is a form of AI and it's a necessary extension of Gen AI. They introduced the cycles composer as an important element of the future of requirements engineering. And my assertion that model-based cognition in general will disrupt the end-to-end process for requirements engineering. I truly believe this. And I have evidence for it too, an observation. The second presentation, Darwin and Tara introduced the specification compliance. Again, there was a heavy reliance on model-based cognition. It may not have come out as clear in that presentation, but what Darwin was able to do was to make models combine and recombine, models that were derived from several specifications to produce a specific work instruction on demand on the plant floor. And it was not possible without the fundamentals of model-based cognition. Model-based cognition was the only solution to produce a result, and he tried it for years. So I'm not sure how clear that was in his presentation, but it is the case. So the decomposition of many specifications into a series of models, and then when he was able to get them to recombine and combine in the context of a specific case, he got a solution for himself on the plant floor. Next, Josh Cullis introduced model-based cognition for process execution. Again, I hope you saw how the organic combination of models, both the orchestration model and how the deliverables themselves are modeled, adds to the ability to do things like product development processes that traditionally have not had very good solutions for management, right? Again, I mentioned the idea that people do very rarefied, abstracted processes just to aggregate data versus not doing it at all. And now there's a system where you can have both your cake and eat it too, so to speak. Next, Holly was up from General Motors, and Holly talked a lot about the librarying, the need for librarying in these large, complex organizations, and you got a glimpse of the scale of that deployment, which is kind of awe-inspiring, at least for me it is. And I'd just like to point out again that with those number of use cases and communities of practice, the amount of IT spend that GM has not had to incur to produce these solutions far outweighs any of the costs they've ever spent on the software. I don't have the actual data, but I think I can safely assume that, let alone the value it derives for the company itself through better knowledge management. The Trailblazer Award, again, there's some people in this room, I'm not going to lie, that were candidates for that award, and I think you all would have been worthy candidates for that award. Darwin truly was a trailblazer in that he went in and of his own energies created these solutions. And it's truly remarkable that he was able to do that. And specifically, those solutions were model-based cognition before we even had the words to describe it as such. So I think it was a very well-deserved award for Darwin, and hopefully some of you in this room will get it in years to come. Then Steve talked about the OmniBridge. For those of you who are interested in enterprise deployments, integration is really important. I believe that the OmniBridge represents a very quick path to getting your systems integrated. It gives you the whole run log called runbook of APIs, what APIs to call, what are the responses, what are the signatures. All those things just are completely documented and ready for your IT team to build an application. And you're even getting to You can use it to show executives on why it would be valuable. I got my little knowledge model here. If I create it now, bam, it's showing up in this other system, and it's processing, and it's adding intelligence to this other system. And it's very easy to show that without building anything, because the OmniBridge shows you that out of the box. Then Carl from MIT, I think he gave us a master class in knowledge management. I really do. There were so many subtle nuances in that presentation about what makes good knowledge management, how it goes. There was an organic flavor to it, how he learns, how he adapts, the incentive models for individuals, and how that all happened. If you pay close attention to that presentation, I think you'll find a lot of really insightful things on how to do knowledge management. I'll be honest, when we started working with MIT, I thought, is MIT the kind of company that's going to get use out of Auros, right? We're used to these. I'm an automotive guy, right? And all these high volume, produce a car every 60 seconds, every 30 seconds. And these guys are building these high-tech prototypes. I mean, build the thing that's actually going to go up in space, right? Or at least it's the first unit. And so it was very interesting to see how the thought models of knowledge management, they applied to MIT, and I think quite well. So thank you, Carl, for that. Following that, Camille gave us a little overview of a lot of changes. Hopefully that wasn't too overwhelming. That was a lot of detail. Thank you, Camille. And I'll just conclude now by saying the three things I left you with from my earlier presentation. We're going to be about model-based cognition. We believe it's a solution that will be valuable in the marketplace, and it's going to solve problems that are otherwise not solvable. It's an important part of the AI technique. It fits in very well. In generative AI plays a part in model-based cognition, along with symbolic AI, and as Tara said, it really is a form of agentic AI. We have significant innovation in the pipeline that I'm excited to share with you guys in the future. I know what these things are, and I'm so eager to get these things into a form where we can start sharing it with you all, but there are some really cool things coming. And lastly, I think if it's not clear, me personally, I'm stoked about the model-based cognition future, and I hope as a result of today, so are you. Thank you very much. Come on and join us in the reception. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your partnership.